Hey guys, I'm Becky and welcome to another reading vlog. Today it is Thursday night. It is a little less than an hour until my weekend book Bite-A-Thon begins. It starts on Friday, so at midnight. And I wanted to start this vlog a little early just to kind of chat before the festivities begin. So for those who do not know, I do 2 readathons a year, or I host 2 readathons a year. The first one is the book Bite-A-Thon, which is a week-long one that happens in October, and it celebrates the anniversary of me starting my channel, which is October 30th. And then the second one is the weekend closest to May 4th, which is the anniversary of when I started the blog Book Bite Reviews. So for the week-long one, there is usually like 3 prompts, a giveaway, and things like that. And then for the mini one, it's just a weekend of us reading together, just for fun. So something I did start last year for the book Bite-A-Thon is a group read. So I wanted to come on here so that we could find out together what the group read is going to be, and then I'm going to change it on Fable so that anyone who is reading with me knows what book it is and then has the chapter breakdown so that we can discuss it. So the plan was that I was going to put it on Fable, and then I went to do that on Wednesday and found out that if you put up a poll that it stays up for 72 hours. I thought it was only 24 or 48, and so since I put it up on Wednesday, the poll would end after the start of the readathon, and there's no way for me to like see the results ahead of time. So I was like, you know what, I'll just post it on my Instagram, it's fine. So that is what I did. So let's see what the results are. Okay, so I'm actually pretty surprised. 45%. We'll start with the lowest. So 22% voted for Fated to the Wolf Prince. So that means that that is not the book that we are reading, unfortunately. 33% voted for Fangs for Nothing. So unfortunately that is not our book either. But 45% voted for Broken Bonds, which is going to be our group pick. So this is Broken Bonds by Bree. What I know about it is that it is a paranormal romance. I know that there is a reverse harem element. And I know that it is either the shortest book or just 10 pages more than the shortest book that was on our poll. And I think it's like 295 pages maybe. It's definitely under 300. So that is certainly interesting. I know Anne is probably a little bit disappointed. She is my friend and she watches my videos and will be participating. I'm pretty sure that her vote was for Fangs for Nothing, but I'm still planning on reading these other 2 options hopefully very, very soon, because I was very interested in all 3 and couldn't pick between them, which is why we had a poll, but I will be reading those other 2. So if Anne decides to still read Fangs for Nothing, we can definitely talk about it on our own time. So I'm going to change the Fable to Broken Bonds. All right, I have announced it on my Instagram. I have changed the Fable book to it, so everyone should know. So I will be starting this book hopefully tonight and then read it this weekend. So the only prompt for the mini book Bite-A-Thon is to read as much paranormal romance as you possibly can during the weekend. And that is because that is how Book Bite Reviews got its start, was paranormal romance. So as far as what I'm reading outside of this book, I'm not positive. I'm going to have to think about it tonight, but a possibility is to try to read all 3 of the book choices this weekend, which is a bit of an undertaking, especially for Fangs for Nothing, because I don't know if I can read that on top of 2 others. But we could certainly read as much as possible and see where that gets us. Yeah, I'm going to look into my TBR just to see if there wasn't anything else that I would really like to get to. I know that I was thinking about other like KU books or something like that, but really these are the 3 that I was like most excited to possibly read. So maybe I will just do that. But all right, I am going to hop in the shower really quick and then I will update you guys once I start something. Okay, so I'm in bed, freshly showered, and I think I'm going to start Broken Bonds on audio through Hoopla, so that way I can play some Hello Kitty really quick. So I will let you know how the audio is. I don't think I've heard anything about the audio, if it's good or bad, so we'll check in. Alright, I'm about to go to sleep, but I have gotten to chapter 10, and I am really, really liking this book. It is really good. It is
so heartbreaking. I feel so sad, and like my heart just hurts because like all of her bonds hate her because she abandoned them and she can't tell them why, and I don't even fully know why, and so they're just so mean to her and it hurts. It just hurts. But I'm really excited to see where this book is gonna go. It's really good.
Hello. So it is officially the end of day 1. It is 12:30 Friday night / Saturday morning, however you look at it. I am currently 37% of the way through Broken Bonds, and I wanted to chat about it because I'm hoping to finish it maybe tonight, maybe. That would be great, especially if we want to get through any more of the books on the list. But I'm 37% of the way through it, and I'm really liking this, but it's also so heartbreaking. Like, these guys are so mean to her, and we're getting her point of view. So like, she's just so heartbroken because she doesn't want to be hurting them and she wants to be with them, but for reasons not fully known to us, she can't. And so she's like, I just wish they could understand like my sacrifice and why I have to do this, but I also can't tell them about it. And I'm just like, at least tell me about it. Like, I just know eventually this is going to come to a head where like we all are in the know of why she ran and what is going on. It's just going to be so satisfying because right now it's just like kind of slightly almost a bully romance because it's like they care about her, but at the same time like they're very, very mad at her. And yeah, I don't know. I am really hoping that, so far at least, I'm hoping that Atlas is not playing her because he's the only one that's being sweet to her and understanding. And I'm just like, please don't be an act to like get one over on her. That would suck. That would suck so bad. And then the only other thing that like I don't fully understand just yet is that you have this group of bonded, and apparently like it hasn't been explained of like how you are the center or one of the bonded. It also hasn't really fully explained like what your relationship is with all the people in your group, because like we've seen other groupings and like in that one the male was the one who is the center and then has 2 females, whereas like she has like what, 6, 7, and then like in her friend's bonded pair like he doesn't really give a crap about her, only his other one. So like, is it not like a mutual attraction or something? And then like, how does that work in the group dynamic? Like, is everyone just like pulled to each other like fated mates or not? Because then we have like these other girls who are hanging around the guys to try to make her jealous. But then also like, shouldn't you, because like there is a scene where like girls are flirting with the one guy and he's like, I don't understand you because if the roles were reversed, I would lose my mind about a guy flirting with you. And like, she wants to, but she's also like, I can't react to these girls. So it's like, are they just doing it to get a rise out of her? Or like, are you not fully pulled toward each other? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. But I am enjoying it. It is good. It is very, very easy to read and get through. I am listening to the audio. So like I told you guys, I did start the audio and it was not bad at all. Like, it's not like, you know, the best audio that I've ever listened to, but if you would like to multitask while reading this book, or if you're an audio person, like I think you'll enjoy the performance of the audio because it's not bad at all. I do think I am going to listen to some while I do some stuff on my computer. So I should hopefully have this book finished pretty soon. Also, completely unrelated to reading, but when my husband was a kid, he would drink Ovaltine. He was obsessed with it. And we were at the grocery store last night and he was like, ooh, I'm gonna buy some Ovaltine. And so like, I was making fun of him of like, you know, this is an old person drink. Of course you want to get it. But he made me a cup last night and holy crap, you guys. This is so good. So he got what I call like the super old person edition. So this one has like immunity boosts and vitamins. It's the malted version of Ovaltine. And you guys, this is so freaking good. I made him make me a glass tonight and I was like, I think this is gonna be like my new like daily sweet treat because like it's good for you and it tastes so good. Like if you like the candy Whoppers, this is that in a drink. It's amazing. Go get you some old people drink. You won't regret it. Guys, we need to talk because I have finished a book. So I have in fact finished Broken Bonds by Bree, and I loved it. Like, so obsessed. I really, really loved it. I will say there's a whole lot that is not answered. There's a whole lot of things I need to know. There's a lot of things I want to find out. There's like, what is going to happen next, but also like what happened in the past and, you know, what does all of this really mean? I don't know, and I'm hoping to find out, but I finished it earlier today. I'm technically giving it like a 4.75 because it's not a perfect book, but on places where I can't do that, it's a 5-star. And I will say, which seems obvious since I'm giving it a 4.75, it is a soft 5-star, so I do soft 5 stars and hard 5 stars. So a soft 5-star is, I had a great time. I can say without a doubt, like, this book is not flawless and is not for everyone, but it just like happened to work out perfectly for me. Maybe the timing was right, the vibes were just right. I just had a great time, whatever. Like, it's a 5-star for the vibes. Whereas a hard 5-star is, this is a 5-star book, and anyone who says it isn't is wrong. It is critically a 5-star. It is perfect in every way. It's a flawless book. So it is a soft 5-star. And I was like, oh my God, I think that this is now going to ruin my TBR for this weekend, because my plan was to then read the other 2 books that were in the poll for our group read. And I was like, now I just want to read as many of the books in the series as possible, because there's 6 books total. So I was like, I could get through at least another 2 to 3 of them, possibly. So I was going to come on here and tell you that I have completely scrapped my TBR and that I will be continuing on with this series. But then I was like, you know what, let me check if they're out and how long they are. And I'm pretty positive that all 6 books are in fact out. But this book is 289 pages, I believe. Book 2 is 500, and book 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all like 540. What? Like, I truly believe that like Bree wrote this short book to hook us and then is going to give us all the details in all these other books. And that is an awesome marketing scheme and game plan, and you've got me. But it will not be happening this weekend, because I could like maybe get through 1 if I'm lucky. So instead, we're going to stick with our original plan and read, or at least try to get as far as we can with the other 2 books, because I think I can get through for sure Fated to the Wolf Prince, and then I can at least start Fangs for Nothing during the book Bite-A-Thon. That is what we're going to stick with, and then I will let this series take over my life as soon as I possibly can. Like, it's definitely on the higher end of the TBR to hopefully at least try to get to book 2 at some point this month, hopefully. I don't know if it can happen, but hopefully. But yes, it was so good. It was so good. Like, this book had me hooked. It had me crying. It was just so good, and I cannot believe the ending. I'm happy with where it ended, because I didn't want too big of a cliffhanger, and I thought that the last place that we see her at was going to be the ending of the book, and then I didn't have to immediately pick up book 2 to find out how things are going to work out. That's not where it ends. So we're kind of like, not to spoil anything, but we're at a safe place when the book ends. So I'm like, okay, I can take a minute and read book 2 in a second. So that's what we're going to do. So I will be, right now I'm going to work on my reading journal and also hopefully do some editing. But then I will be starting Fated to the Wolf Prince tonight. And fingers crossed that we can get through it quickly, and then I can still read as much as possible of Fangs for Nothing. So that is the plan. But I want to update you because we have a book done. It is the group read. I made my comments in Fable as much as I possibly could, because there's not like a ton. I felt like compelled to go on there, so I did it as much as I possibly could. I definitely didn't have something to say for every single chapter. I mean, I could have definitely wrote something for every chapter, but it would have been like the same. It would have just been like, why are they so mean? Why am I crying in the club? I'm obsessed with them. But I will say, I was wrong. There's not like 6 to 7 people. There's 5. There's 5 people in her bonded group. And so far, here are my thoughts on the 5. So we have my number 1 favorite, which is Atlas. Love him. He's amazing. Definitely right now, top tier. Then after him, I think it would probably be Griffin. Even though we don't get to know him a ton, he is like our silent hero, and I really liked that about him. That like he kind of like gets to know her, takes care of her in his own way. Then, oh God, what is his name? Let me pull up the book. So Atlas is number 1, Griffin is number 2. I think Gabe is number 3. Gabe, like, they have a pretty good friendship, but I definitely think he has really like had his feelings hurt, and he's a bit more vocal about it. Then number 4 would be North, even though like I really don't like him because he comes from a place of privilege and he doesn't like believe her. Like, she told him that she hadn't eaten in 4 days, and he was like, they would never have let you starve for 4 days, when in fact they did. She's asking him to stop at a drugstore. She doesn't tell him why, but he's just like refuses to. He doesn't give her access to get basic necessities or new clothing or anything. Like, she's literally like surviving in rags, and she's like, it's so embarrassing because like I like to be somebody who's like put together, and especially with her like training and losing weight, like the clothes she has doesn't even fit her. Like, I just really didn't like that at all. I don't like the extreme controllingness without any like payoff. Like, I can usually come to terms with like a overprotective hero if there is like some sort of give, like, you know, I just want to protect you and I love you and I want to take care of you. Like, then you can kind of convince me, but like, he's not taking care of her either. Like, it just feels like a punishment. But then somebody who, like, he's not even number 5. I just straight up hate him, and I have no idea how this book is going to convince me to like him, is Knox. I hate Knox with a passion. Like, I hate him in every single scene he is in. I cannot believe the assault scene with him. That was like so not okay. And I was so pleased with the way that like Atlas responds to it. Honestly, I really like the way that like all the guys reacted to it, because I definitely thought things were gonna, like, I thought the same things that our main character thought, of like how it was like a weird gray area, and she thought people were gonna then turn it around on her once they found out like exactly what happened. But I really liked how the response was like, no, he knew exactly what he was doing, and that's not okay. But I absolutely just hate him with a whole passion. Like, they are really gonna have to do like a full 360 flip with his personality. They're gonna have to explain some trauma, and there's gonna have to be some like serious groveling, because as of right now, like, I don't even want him in the group. Like, kick him out. Doesn't deserve to be here. Hate his guts. So that's my ranking so far. But otherwise, like, I think that's all there really is to say. Like, this is a short book and it's pretty wild, and because it's so short, like, I don't really want to spoil anything. So I think I have said enough about this book. So I am going to go ahead and work on my reading journal, do some editing, and then I will start the next book and tell you my thoughts. Ignore my appearance. Hopefully you can't tell how dirty my hair is right now. But I have been cleaning all day, so I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys today. But I did start Fated to the Wolf Prince, right? That's what it's called. I did start that last night. I think right now I'm only like 20 or 30% of the way through it, unfortunately. It's interesting, but I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't have me like hooked, where I'm like wanting to read it all day. And I have, you know, like I said, been cleaning and stuff like that. So obviously, since it's Sunday, I'm going to try to get that book done before the end of the day. But we definitely are not going to be able to start and or finish Fangs for Nothing in this amount of time. So I think I'm just going to finish this book and then close out the vlog once that happens. Let's talk about my thoughts so far. So Fated to the Wolf Prince is about these 3 best friends who are in a wolf pack, and our main character, she is a healer and like a scientist. She is trying to figure out what like differences there are between like wolf DNA and human DNA, or shifter DNA rather, and kind of trying to figure out like why her parents died, because they died from like a mysterious illness. And her wolf is like very weak. She hardly comes out. She's considered a Psi wolf, which is the lowest tier before an Omega. And in this world, Omegas are killed because they have like enhanced powers. So they are killed like by the 3rd day of them being alive. So as children. Yikes. Yeah. So we start out with like meeting her and her 2 best friends, which they all live together. And they get a summons from the alpha leader of all the wolf packs, stating that anyone who is unmated has to come to this giant meeting where they are going to try and basically help unmated wolves meet each other, because the wolves are dying out and, you know, we need more mated pairs. And we also find out that obviously more children are needed for species survival, but there has been like a huge uptick in female wolves dying during childbirth, and sometimes even their child as well. So like that's why they're like, you know, we need to do something, because now people aren't even really like going out of their way to get mated, because of like it's kind of scary as well. So our main character definitely believes that she is not going to be mated at all because of how weak her wolf is. Like, no one's going to want her anyways, so even if she does find her mate, he's not going to want her. Her other best friend is like very much outspoken feminist, and she's like very pissed off about being forced to like find her mate, kind of. Even though like it's all up to fate, you know, her mate is going to be at this meeting or not, because like what if it's from a different country, or, you know, not of age yet, or I don't know. So, you know, she's just like annoyed at being like bossed around. And then we also find out that she was in a relationship with somebody. He was like, at least on her end, the love of her life, but unfortunately he then found his mate. And she's like, I get it, like it's not something you can choose. And of course, like the ultimate goal is to find your fated mate, but like I loved him and that really sucks. Like I thought that we would be fated mates maybe one day. And then her other friend has a kind of like mysterious past. She came from foster care, which is really rare for wolves. She absolutely like cannot be around men, cannot be touched by men, and she sometimes can't even be touched by women. Like very recently, like she has let the other two like be that close with her. So they definitely know like something's up, but she hasn't told them, even though they've been like true best friends for a really long time. She has this like very traumatic past. So like the interest is definitely there, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about this book that just doesn't have me like, you know, super excited to keep going. Obviously, like the title suggests, our main character is going to find her fated mate, and it turns out that it is the main alpha's son, so the prince. And like right now where I'm at, like they have met each other, they have realized that they are each other's mates. He kind of doesn't believe it because of how weak of a wolf she is. And so he's like saying some kind of mean things to his friends about how like there's no way, like it must just be like an alpha pull because she's so weak that he's compelled to protect her because she's part of his, you know, larger pack. And she overhears this. And so like now there's like, you know, kind of issues going on. And then now they think that maybe she isn't a Psy wolf actually. That just happened. So it is super interesting, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm not just like drawn to just like power through this like extremely quickly, especially when it's only like 279 pages, I think. Or yeah, I think it's 279. So I don't know, but I will get it done tonight and it'll be the last book that we read. I don't know if I can finish it by midnight, but my rule is like I don't technically go by time, I go by when I go to bed. That's the end of the day. So I think I will still be able to get it done for the end of the book Bite-A-Thon. But yeah, very interesting how this weekend has shaped up. I almost wish that I would have just gone ahead and read book 2 to Broken Bonds, because at least that was on audio, so I would have had like so many more opportunities to listen to that because I've been trying to like get things done this weekend as well. So that's the only thing I'm just like, I should have just done it. But I wanted to read these other books with you guys. So we'll see where the night takes us with Fated to the Wolf Prince, and maybe it'll turn out to be an amazing book by the end. Hey guys, it is finally time to close out this mini book Bite-A-Thon reading vlog. So I finally did finish Fated to the Wolf Prince, and it was okay. It was good. I am giving it a solid 4-star, and I do plan on reading the next book. I will say who the next book is about. I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if this happened? I have this like super deep theory that which comes out of like nothing. I'm just like, wouldn't this be great? That maybe the reason that the male is the way that he is because he found her and then she was taken away. And then because of the trauma of that plus what happened to her, that's also why she's the way she is. That's my theory. That is my unspoiler version of the theory. So it was good. It took me a bit longer than I was expecting to read that one. I technically finished it this morning. I only had like 50 pages left and I just didn't get to it on Monday. I did read the last 50 pages a little after midnight, but today has been pretty busy, so I have not gotten a chance to talk to you about it. So I did in fact finish it. I would call this mini book Bite-A-Thon a success. I didn't get as much as I wanted to done, but I read a really, really great book that I'm so freaking excited to continue on. And then I read another one that was like a pretty good book that I do also plan to continue with the series. So overall, definitely a success. I am definitely interested to know what you guys ended up reading during the mini book Bite-A-Thon. So please let me know in the comments what you did read because I'm just curious. And yeah, I think that is it for this. I am now going to immediately start my reading vlog for the last of my Aurelium books that I need to finish up. So I just have one for the spring semester and then 2 for a side quest from like last year. There is going to be a moving update, so check it out if you are in fact interested. All right guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to keep reading, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
People say the